Today we are talking about mindset, and Amy has something really awesome to share. And then I have a little quick tip as well, what's helped me. And then we have an awesome speaker today, Katlyn. She has recently just ranked to Ruby. What was it, like a little over a week ago? So I'm really excited for you guys to hear her story. Thank you for being here, Katlyn. So, Amy, I'm gonna have you kick it off, and then we'll go from there. Sound good?
Sounds good. All right. Yeah, thanks for being on, guys. So mindset. Um, I have been hearing for years that it's all about mindset, right? That's always what the successful Jules say and what we hear from our leaders. And I'm like, I have to admit, I'd kind of be like, well, that's not true. That's like, I almost didn't believe it. Like, you can't just set your mind to something and then it happens. You actually have to do the work. Well, that is true. You have to do the work. But it's what I've learned really within the past, since January. If you set your mind in a positive way, that's when things will happen. If you have negative thoughts, there's no chance of things happening in a good way. Like, let's just say, for example, I said for the longest time, I almost said it again now, I don't develop level ones. Like, my level ones don't share. And you guys have heard me say that probably for the past 7, 8 years. I just have really just a couple level ones. One of them is Nicole. And it's almost like a curse. I would feel like my level ones don't share. And I would say that and say that and say that. Well, I stopped in January. I did do a specific training, and I stopped and I changed my mindset that I can develop level ones. I will develop level ones. I used to even say, my level ones don't want to sell because I'm a personal trainer. So they think, well, it makes sense for Amy to sell, but not for me to sell because Amy's a trainer. So Amy should sell supplements, but I'm not a trainer. So I should just buy them from Amy and not sell them. And that's like an excuse I would use. It's just way too hard for me to develop level ones because I'm a trainer, if you guys are following me. Well, I totally changed it in January and told myself I can develop level ones. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do the things to develop level ones. And guys, for this call, I should have had my numbers, but I just had my first Fast Start Gold. She started in February, just went Fast Start Gold, level 1. And then I have another girl start in January. She's Fast Start Senior Silver. And then another girl that's Fast Start Silver, almost Fast Start Senior Silver. And I have a lot of level 1 signing up 1 and 2 people as soon as they start. Okay, so about the mindset. It also came from a book called Mind Gym. It is geared towards runners, but or athletes, I should say, not just runners. It teaches your mind to only think positive thoughts and not think negative thoughts. And it's just really cool. I mean, it's a really quick read. It's really geared towards athletes, but I mean, I've always seen how this business kind of lines up with the way I think as an athlete too. So it wouldn't hurt to read it. You don't let negative thoughts enter your mind. Oh yeah, I'll type it when I'm done, Marissa. Um, so it totally changed the way my son races because he was racing when someone would pass him. It's so easy to have those thoughts when your body's dying and it feels so hard to think, oh, I'm dead. I can't go any faster. Oh my God, I can't go any faster. And then just, we call it dying. Oh, you died. Well, if you stop having those thoughts when someone's coming up on you and you're thinking, I feel good, I feel good, I feel good, I feel great, even if they're passing you, I feel better than them, I feel good, I feel great, I can go faster. All negative thoughts. I mean, positive thoughts. It's the same with this business. And we can't, if you're thinking, oh, the products are too expensive, oh, I can't develop level ones. Well, you're never going to sell any products. You're never going to develop level ones. If you flip it and think positively about every situation, Like in our team chat, for example, people were always mentioning how they've been ghosted. We're all ghosted. Everyone gets ghosted. Don't dwell on that. Flip the switch and focus on the positive things. Anyways, that's all I wanted to share about mindset. I will type the name of the book. But it's hard to have all positive thoughts. It takes work and training. And I've been really working on my own mindset since January, but it's completely changed my business completely. So that's all.
Thank you for sharing that. And I can relate, like, I mean, I haven't really been a runner for a long time, but I used to run, cross country and track, and I had to tell myself these thoughts, like positive thoughts. If I didn't, I mean, I was going to be totally behind. And even if I was behind, it was just the getting through and like making it to the end when I didn't feel like I could. You have to tell yourself all these positive things, that you're doing it. You're amazing. You are fast. You are strong. You're a beast. Like whatever you're going to tell yourself. I don't know. So, yeah, I could totally relate to that. And you are like, if you think that you can't do this, or you think you can't develop level 1, rank ups, if you think that you can't hit emerald, if you think that you can't hit the next rank, or you can't go diamond, then you can't. You're right. You're absolutely right. It is because that's what you think. And it is, there's just so much to that. And, I used to let negative thoughts consume me a lot, because I feel like for years it was always like maybe a self-confidence thing, or worried what other people are thinking a lot. And not that I don't still have those issues sometimes, but I will say, like, probably within that first year of my business, I started to notice, a change in my mindset. And what was happening there for me, which I know a lot of you are already doing, is, filling my mind with positive things, like with podcasts that have, inspiration, motivation, personal development, leadership, training, obviously doing plexus trainings as well, reading books that help you with that. One of the first books I had read early in, not first books, but first book I read after like joining plexus was What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And that can be a really powerful book if you haven't read that yet. That helped me a lot, I think. We did a book club on it. I want to say that first year that I was in plexus, and that helped me a lot to kind of work through that. So my biggest tip, and I don't want to go too far into this because I really want you guys to hear from Katlyn today. And Amy already shared something awesome, but my biggest tip for what's helped my mindset for the day to day, not just like, but also over time. And like this builds up in your mind and your brain, and how you develop that self-confidence and a better mindset. But even just like, on the days where I don't feel like doing anything, I sometimes don't even feel like exercising, or I don't feel like doing my plexus business and opening my computer. I don't feel like talking to people sometimes. The best thing that I've done for myself to help improve that is putting on something that is, something between the ears that's going to be positive and that's going to be encouraging, that's going to help my mindset. Or maybe it's leadership development or some type of personal development podcast. Maybe it's even just a plexus training of some kind. If you guys don't know where to start with that, I can send you a million things. I can list out a ton of people that I can give you a list of people to start listening to on the daily, even if it's just like 15 minutes. You take 15 minutes in the morning. For me, I love to do it like while I'm going for a walk, or while I'm getting ready for going for a workout, or while I'm in that workout. Those are really great places for me to listen to something like that. Brendan Burchard, Ed Milet, Jessica Heffley has a really great podcast right now too. Brittany Howard. Some of these people are non-plexus, some of these people are plexus people, but they also have a really great, podcast that has a lot to do with, like, Jessica talks a lot about money mindset, things like that. Anyways, there's all different topics, all different ways you could go with it. Trent Shelton is also a great one, but something about listening to something like that even if it's short. Now there's really long ones you can listen to too, but I'll tell you, it just really gives me a totally different day and motivation to actually want to work my business, and to want to talk to people and to want to share something with you or train, on a topic, for you guys. It's because I've put something really good into my head it makes the wheels turn. It gives me ideas for my business. It helps inspire me and keep me going to want to move my body, to want to talk to more people. So anyways, I don't want to get too far into that, but I have lots of links that I could send your way if you don't know where to start. Tell me what topic you're looking for. Tell me, if you want plexus trainings or whatnot, I will send you recommendations, but let's get into this. I would love to have Katlyn start if she's ready to share her story. You guys, it's pretty incredible and I'm super excited to hear what she has to say.
All right. Hi. Thank you
Hi.
all for having me. Thank you, Nicole, for asking me to speak. So I know none of you know me, but I'm Katlyn Gentry. I'll just give you a little history about me. I am a second time product user, which there's actually a lot of them out there if you don't know. I started initially in August of oh my gosh, it's 2024. So hold on. I started initially in August of 2022. And like a lot of people, I wasn't consistent. And then I was mad because it wasn't working. So I gave up. And I had a lot of issues. I had like 29 symptoms of yeast overgrowth, like anxiety, stress, migraines, headaches. I had been on birth control for like 12 years. Ovarian cyst. I had had 7 abdominal surgeries. I mean, my brain fog was off the charts. Um, Fast forward to my young adult life. Well, I still like to think that I'm young, but my younger adult life. Me and my husband got married. We tried to have kids for several years. It wasn't happening. So we had to pursue IVF treatment. And if any of you are familiar, it's just hormonal stuff, like hormonal, um, which isn't good for you. I mean, I was taking shots daily for like 8 to 12 weeks. And after I had our daughter, um, my brain fog was awful. I had 100% convinced myself that I had a brain tumor. And I even asked doctors for MRIs. I mean, it was crazy. So fast forward to December of 2022, I'm miserable. My marriage is miserable because I'm a miserable person. Um, I'm not spending time with my daughter, all the negative things that could happen were happening. And my husband looks at me from across the kitchen and he said, "What about that pink drink you tried over the summer?" And if you're married, I literally spun around a 180. I was like, "What do you mean? You don't even pay that much attention to me. How do you even remember a pink drink?" So we cackled and I reached back out to my upline and I said, "I need your help. I don't know what I need, but I need you and I need you to give me, you know, all the time that I need, but I'm going to do this." And she was like, "Meet me at my house on Saturday." So we sat down and she literally looked at me and she said, "You give me 90 days and I'm going to help you get your life back." And I'm full tears crying. And I was like, "Okay, I'm ready." So I started on the products January of last year. I've been on them consistently since then. Within the first 90 days, I had lost 40-ish pounds. Well, not in the first 90 days, but in the first 90 days, I had had probably, so I started out with 29 yeast overgrowth symptoms. I probably had gotten rid of at least 20 of those in those 90 days. No more painful periods, no headaches. I was sleeping so good. I was active. I mean, the only way I knew I had my period is if I went to the bathroom. And before that, I was literally cramping and in the bed for 2 days at least. So it's been an absolute godsend for me. It's changed my life completely. My hard-headed husband finally started on the products in December. Um, my daughter is on the children's line. And it's just been amazing for our family. I have belief in these products. I don't believe you can do this business if you don't have belief in these products. And I started the business in April of last year. And when I started Plexus, you know, Tanya was like, what about the business? What about the business? And no, no, no. She probably got no out of me 10 times. But as I gained belief in these products, as they started working for me, I said, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. Um, and my history is I've been working in the medical field for 13 years. And I still work full time, hence all these gloves and everything in the background. I'm just on my lunch break. And I love what I do. And I told her, I was like, I only want to go to silver, get my products paid for, I'm good. But then, you know, it just got deeper, which I'm so thankful for. I'm so, so thankful. Um, so when Nicole asked me to speak, I was like, yes, I'm so excited. I am nervous, but this is so good, you know, to get out of your comfort zone, which is what I'm kind of going to talk about. Um, this, and this is the little quote that I live by, and I have a bunch of notes sitting in front of me. So if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes. But 20% of your business success is skills, and the other 80% is all in your head. I have this on a post-it and I have it plastered everywhere. Because I will say the first 6 months of my business, I was in my head, and I was in my head bad. And like some of you ladies said, I spoke such negativity over myself. Like, I'm not worthy of this. I'll never be a diamond. Like all the negative things you can literally say about yourself. It was me. And I don't know if you guys did the book club with Brooke Hemingway and all that, but she did this book, The Worthy. And if you guys have not read this, then I suggest you read it. It changed my life. I had read bits and pieces of it several months ago. And then when she put it out, I was like, I need to get back to that. So I got back to it and really dove into it a couple months ago. And it's changed my business just in the last 3 months. Um, and like she said earlier, if you're speaking all these negative thoughts over yourself, you're never going to get to where you want to get. Do I want to be diamond one day? Absolutely. Will I? Absolutely. But also too, I've learned in this business, it's not a race. There's no judgment. There's no, I'm just going to give my friend for an example. There's no saying like, oh, Casey made it to gold in 2 months and here I am going on 4 months and I'm still not gold, you know, whatever it is. This is your business. This is your pace, however slow or fast or, you know, whatever you want to do is all up to you. But what that other person is doing doesn't matter. Just cheer her on. Let her cheer you on. You know, even if you guys aren't benefiting each other and you guys aren't even on the same team, like my girl that I run with doesn't benefit me at all. I don't benefit her. She doesn't benefit me. But we literally, um, we're more than best friends. She's closer than a sister than my own sisters. And just a little side piece, I went to Gold School. I think it was Holly commented about Gold School in the chat. I went to Gold School this past Saturday in DC, and it's amazing. I will say if you have not been to Gold School or whatever your rank is, Ruby's on the Rise, convention, if you have not been, my number one suggestion to you would be to get in the room. My business changed when I started going to Nashville, when I went to the leaders retreat in November and then in February. I found that being around like-minded people who pour into you, even when you don't benefit them, is just amazing. It's kind of emotional for me. And when I went to Gold School on Saturday, you know, it doesn't cost anything to go. And if you live within close distance, it's just an amazing experience. I mean, Alec was there, you know, and I got to talk to him one-on-one. And he's just, I mean, if you guys have ever talked to him or heard him talk, he's just amazing. He cares about every single one of us. And to sit there and, you know, have him look at us and say, I pray for every single one of you. It's just huge as a business owner and as for somebody who grew up in a religious Christian family, like for my owner of the company to say that to me, it brought tears to my eyes. Like I literally was driving home that night, like, God, I'm in such, you know, I'm in the best place that I could ever be in. You know, thank you for putting me where I am. So I'm going to go over a couple of my notes, and if you guys have any questions, I'll answer anything. So everything changes when you take full responsibility for your career. And there's two different mindsets. You have a fixed mindset and you have a growth mindset. A fixed mindset person avoids all the challenges. So that could be like if Nicole were to ask me to be on the Zoom and I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'm too scared. So that would be me avoiding that challenge. But a growth mindset embraces those challenges. And so I took it as to be like, this could be a really good learning thing for me, like maybe her girls need to hear some things that I have to say. I embraced it. And have I been stressing about it the last week? Yes, I have. But I've learned that like avoiding things you don't grow. It doesn't help you to grow as a person. It doesn't help you to grow in your business. It doesn't help you to grow any way, shape, or form. And not necessarily speaking just in your business. That could be totally in life in general. So avoiding those things will get you nowhere. So embracing them helps you more than anything in any aspect of your life. Also with a fixed mindset, you see efforts as fruitless. And with a growth mindset, you see efforts as a path to mastery. And Megan Ashton, and I'm not sure if you guys know who she was at Gold School on Saturday and she really spoke about this. So if you put in all these efforts, and I'm just going to give an example. Say you have somebody tell you no. That's a good thing. No's are good. No's are not bad. And when I first started my business and somebody told me no, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was upset. I was hurt. I felt defeated. There were even times where I was like, I'm done. Like I've gotten like 10 no's this month. I'm done. But you put an effort into that person, and just because they're saying no right now does not mean in a month or 2 months or 3 months or whatever that it's still going to be no. I had people who told me no for a long time who are now on products and who are thriving. So just because you had a no before doesn't mean you will have a no in a couple months. So don't give up on that person. I do suggest, like, if you guys have a notebook, like write down your no's, write down people and you go back to them, whatever it is. But don't see those efforts as fruitless. See those efforts as, that might be your answer right now, but it's not going to be later. And I'm going to work on you and I'm going to give you testimonies and I'm going to tell you that these products can benefit you in X, Y, Z. So seeing those efforts as mastery is so much better than seeing them as fruitless. A fixed mindset ignores constructive criticism, and a growth mindset learns from constructive criticism. So that means when I started my business, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm a year into this business and there are still times where I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I have an amazing upline. She is just glorious and she's so patient with me. But constructive criticism is so necessary. So necessary in life in general. And if you can't take somebody telling you, like, trying to think of an example, somebody being brutally honest with you, not being ugly to you. I don't mean that, but basically saying like, this is what you're doing wrong. This is what you need to do. And if you as a person can't take that constructive criticism, it's so not good. You just need to, I mean, like my coach will look at me and she'll be like, are you ready? Are you ready for me to say this? And I look at her and I'm like, I'm ready, I'm good. And she'll say it and I have to swallow because it's the truth. And I know it's the truth. And that constructive criticism is good for me, but I have to take it and I just have to learn from it. So instead of ignoring that constructive criticism and that fixed mindset, take it, embrace it, swallow if you have to, and then learn from it. Because I promise you, when my coach has said all those things to me, and like I said, it's the things that I needed to hear because she was so right. She's also been doing this business for 10 years, so she knows a lot more than I do. I took it I changed whatever she recommended. I ran with it and I flourished. So just embrace it, learn from it, try to understand it, and then talk about it. And I promise you, it is so much better when you are like that instead of taking offense to somebody who's just trying to help you. And then the last one is a fixed mindset is threatened by success of others. Hold on. um, threatened by success of others, and a growth mindset is inspired by success of others. And what I mean by that is I used to look at people, I'm sure all of you guys follow a bunch of Plexus people. I feel like my Facebook's full of it and I love it. It's all these amazing women. I even have a few men that are just flourishing in their business, flourishing as people, signing all the level ones, getting them to silver. Um, and it's just amazing. But I will say, when I first started, I felt very threatened. I was like, she's, doing so good in X, Y, and Z. And here I am. And I've been doing this the same time as her. And I'm not doing what she's doing. And I was very, then again, negative speaking to myself. And I felt very threatened, by people like that. When I went to Nashville and convention last year, I felt threatened. You look around the room and you see all these amazing people who are making 10,000 plus a year, 20,000 plus a year. And while you want that to be you, I felt threatened by it. But also that was a whole mindset shift. Like I had to change my mindset if I wanted to be, if and when I want to be at the top of the company. So I have done several self-development things to change my mindset. I've done books, I've done podcasts, I've done and like I said earlier, getting in the room was the biggest thing for me. And now I'm just so inspired by success of others. Like it is so nice at the end of every month to see my Facebook feed full of rank advancements, full of like everybody just pouring into each other, congratulating each other, whatever it is. It's amazing. It's so inspiring. So, just a little bit about what I did differently to get to Ruby. Ruby was my first big goal when I started this business. I didn't have a time limit on when I was going to be there because, like I said, I do work full time. I am a mom. I am a wife. I have a house that I feel like I clean 24/7. So I never put a time limit on when I was going to get there. I prayed about it. I said, like when it happens, it'll happen. But it wasn't happening in the first 6 months, and I couldn't figure out why. Quickly, I learned. I had a coaching call with my upline, and she said, it's your mindset. She said, if you could get out of your head, if you could speak positivity over yourself every single day, like look in the mirror and say, I'm the best. I can do this. Like speak. It's not being, like quote unquote cocky. It's just getting yourself in the mindset where you're just all positive. Granted, it does not last forever. It's not always going to be positive. I mean, still to this day, there is those negative thoughts that creep in, and that can be with just anything. But I was on the way back from Gold School and I was thinking of all these things. I was so excited to get back and talk to my team and all the things. And I feel like God sits on one shoulder and the devil sits on the other shoulder. And the devil was like over here telling me, like, you're not going to do that, like just so negative. And then I'm quickly like, okay, I'm going to turn on this song, which is something I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all about before I forget. There's a song called, and you guys might have heard it, it's called Rise Up by Alita Langford. It's amazing. It makes me cry every single time I listen to it. If you have not listened to it, then I highly suggest you listen to it. I turned that on in the car after the devil was speaking to me and started crying, and then I was good. So I've found out that music speaks to me. Music has always spoken to me. So if that's the case for you, like whether it's a fight song or whether it's Rise Up or whatever it is, if those negative thoughts start creeping in, when you're feeling so uplifting and so positive, turn that song on. Like, some people love, oh, yeah, some people love Christian worship music. My mom jams to that all the time. If you hear bass in her car, it's not because of rap, it's because of like some type of Christian worship music. It's amazing. So whatever your niche is, like I will totally say like that was huge for me. Um, and then I started really diving into books. Like I did a lot of like I did the Worthy book. Now my mind is totally blanking. He was a speaker last year in Nashville. Mm, oh well.
John
Um
Maxwell.
yes, 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 yes. So I dove in, my upline got me a couple of his books and I dove into those. I started listening to podcasts because I have a 30-minute commute to work and from work. And I always listen to music just like for no reason. So I started turning on podcasts, I'd say in January, just some super uplifting, super encouraging self-development podcasts. And I have a ton. If you need recommendations, we can always, I can always send them over. Um, but those really helped me. Like I was praying over my business, over my girls every day. Because last year when I started, I didn't have any runners. I was offering the business. I don't think I was using the right wording when I was offering the business. But nobody wanted to do the business. I had zero interest. And then when I shifted my mindset, earlier this year, I had 4 people reach out to me randomly that I had never talked to before that wanted products and wanted the business. Um, and the truth is, like, everybody needs these products and everybody can benefit from this business, whether it's just getting your products paid for, because that's wonderful, or whether it's the $300 a month to pay for your groceries, because that's amazing, because those are expensive. Um, or if it's gas, or if if you want to stay home with your babies, whatever it is, I always tell people, like, I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to hold your hand. Um, if you need me, if you have questions, whatever it is. I don't know if I have a piece of chicken stuck in my throat. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I don't even remember what I was saying, but and I also found out that, not found out, but I also got out of my head in a way that the process, daily and weekly processes, foster your consistency, which leads to so much better confidence. I wasn't doing a lot of things consistently every day. Like I would do X, Y, and Z one day, ABC the next day. I wasn't really consistent in doing the things that I should be doing. And I think that helps me not be confident in certain areas. Um, and then when I started really digging into my mindset and self development, I started speaking out a lot more in our leader chat Zooms that we have every Sunday. And my confidence just flourished. And I think that's helped me in a leadership kind of way. So those 4 people that came to me earlier this year, 3 of them are silver and 1 of them are gold. And 2 of them will hit gold this month and 1 of them will hit senior gold. And I think it's just, you know, I think the only difference that has made my business flourish is my self-development, because I wasn't the same person last year that I am now. I'm a totally different person. And I've even had like my own family and people who I thought were my friends um delete me off social media or not speak, you know, such good words about me and my business because I have changed that much. I don't think I've ever changed for the worse. I think I've just grown in my business as a person in life. And I think there are some people who are threatened by that, which is why I tell you to not be threatened by success from others, but just to be like, she's amazing. I don't know what she's doing, but she's going after her goals, and I'm so proud of her. Um, and I suggest you guys have that mindset about anything because it will absolutely 100% change your business. for the better. I mean, it could never hurt you for the worst. But I had another thing written down that I wanted. Okay, yeah, here it is. So just a little quote that I'll leave you guys with. Um, a couple of them. One of them is, in life, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe you're worthy of. And that is absolutely true. And that is in the book. That's in the Worthy book. And if you believe you're worthy of diamond, then you'll get there. And it doesn't matter, like I said, when, doesn't matter how fast, doesn't matter how slow, but you definitely don't get what you want if you don't believe you're worthy of it. And another one is, it's time to turn down the volume on your doubting mind and turn up the volume on your knowing soul. And if if you know in your heart that you have these goals that you want, or goals that you want to achieve, whether it's goals in life or goals in your business or whatever it is, don't doubt yourself. I mean, you're just as worthy as Brooke Hemingway. You're just as worthy as Megan Ashman. You're just as worthy as all of these other amazing leaders. So don't doubt yourself in any way. Don't speak negative over you, even though I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. And self-development is a continuous process. I mean, like I said, my upline has been in the business for 10 years and she daily does self-development. It's not something that you can do today and not do for a month and expect you to be 100%, because it won't happen. So in every single day, I do at least 15 to 30 minutes of self-development. Even if it's, I do run because I'm training for a half marathon. But even if it's putting the AirPods in and putting on a podcast while you're running, whatever it is, if you're pouring into yourself as a person, as a mom, as a wife, as a business owner, whatever, then I promise you'll get to where you want to get to. And that's it.
That was so good. Like, just so
Yes.
valuable. And I can't wait to share the recording with all the people that missed it today.
Oh, thank you
Oh
guys.
my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh, it was so amazing. I
We
was
needed
like, I was trying to take notes on my phone and I was like, forget that, I'm just writing. I mean, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I am so inspired right now. So awesome. And so everything you said is so true. Like we just don't believe it,
Yeah.
when you start believing it.
Yeah.
That's when it
And
happens.
that's what happened to me. Like, it was the belief. And Alec even talked about that on Saturday. Like, believing in yourself is huge. You do. I mean, obviously you have to have belief in the product, belief in the business, and all that. But if you don't have the belief in yourself to go along with those other two beliefs, then it makes this incredibly hard. So it's very inspiring, to get in the room and have these people say all of this stuff to you. And it's not like you necessarily didn't know all these things, but having people speak these things and you're like, is she in my brain? Because I think she's in my brain. It's just nice because you're not the only person who struggles with the things that other people struggle with. So to hear people talk about it and to like recommend stuff that you could do, or recommend stuff that you could change, it's a game changer.
Absolutely.
Are any of you guys going to Vegas?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay! Awesome. Cool
There's
deal.
Yeah.
Another-
Jenny is too,
Yeah,
right?
Jenny.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh,
Cool
Jenny said,
deal.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
one thing what you were just talking about, and believing in yourself, reminds me of a podcast I was listening to or maybe it was a YouTube video from Ed Milet, and I can link it later to you guys if you want it, but he talked about how to build self-confidence in yourself, so that you have that mindset of, believing in yourself. And it was, he talked all about just like making promises to yourself that you actually keep, because the biggest thing that makes you lose confidence in yourself for doing bigger things like business things or whatever is because you're not even keeping little daily promises to yourself. Like say you want to be more consistent going to the gym, whatever that is, like, you have to make a promise to yourself. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days this week. And then you have to actually keep that promise to yourself. And if you're not keeping that promise to yourself, that's how you lose self-confidence in yourself to do any other things in your life. So even if it's as little as like, saying you're not going to do screen time like an hour before bed, you have to actually keep your promise and not like, well, I'm going to scroll anyways tonight. Oh, tomorrow I'll get back to it. And the more you keep like slipping on those things, that's where you lose self-confidence. So practicing finding little things in your life that you can make promises to, even if it's so tiny, and then just follow through on it. And it will help a lot. So
I agree.
I can link that later. What else did I want to say? Oh, I want to ask you a question. So, and I know you're on your lunch break, so I don't want to hold you up
Oh,
too.
no, you're fine. You're fine.
But just thinking about that jump to Ruby, what do you think besides mindset alone, because I know that's a massive part of it, but are there any actionable things that you can think of, or like specific, like how, like, was it mostly you develop or you adding level ones, or was it you developing silvers, or what specifically got you to Ruby from senior gold, or even from gold, all the way up to where you are now? What do you think has made the biggest difference action wise?
Um, so I think it was duplication.
Okay.
I think it was, I started offering the business to everybody. So a lot of people, and I'm sure you guys get the same thing, will be like, how much is it? They want to ask that the first time you talk. And I don't go straight to prices. I don't talk money until the very end.
Same.
Which I'm sure is something that you do too. But if I know that money is an issue, or that money would be an issue, I automatically, before they even order products, I offer the business. And I just put it in like a very like excited way. I do a lot of voice messages because with voice messages, you can hear the excitement in people's voices. So I do recommend voice messages, which is something I didn't do before. And it's something that I've done consistently, probably for the last 3 months. Because when you're talking about these products, I get so excited because I know what they can do for people. So when I am talking to somebody, I do a lot of voice messages. I offer the business to people who I think money would be an issue before they even order. And basically what I say is, um, like, these products could change your life. You could do this alongside of me. If you had 3 people who wanted to join you, you could get your products paid for. Or, if you wanted $300 extra a month or $1,000 extra a month. And I think that's the joy of this business, is you can really do what you want. I mean, you can do as little as possible, or you can do as much as possible. It's totally up to you, which is, I think, probably the 1,000th reasons why I love this business. Um, but when I had those 4 people come to me and wanted to do products and the business, I really stopped pouring into myself. And what I mean by that is, I wasn't so worried about signing anybody. Um, did I want to sign at least 3 people? Yes. Was I going to be upset if I didn't? No. Because I was so not worried. I was so focused on building my business builders and helping them succeed and getting them to where they wanted to get to, so they could feel comfortable sending messages by themselves, doing, welcome calls by themselves, or whatever it may be. So I really stopped signing people. Like, I went on a rampage for several months in a row where I was signing like 10 plus people. And that just gets to be a lot. Like, when it falls all on you and you have all these level ones, it can be a lot. So duplication was huge for me in a way where it wasn't always on me. Like, I was coaching my girls to be able to do this by themselves, and I'm still here for them every single day. But now that they can do these messages by themselves, like, I get emails where, like, your level one just signed up a VIP, so you get to sweet spot where they're comfortable enough to have these conversations in the duplication role. And I've even had some level ones who have had people interested in the business. I think I have like people up to level 5 now. And that's all happened in the last couple of months because I stopped worrying about signing people and I just really put my focus on my coaching calls. Um, People who wanted to do the business, their specific goals in the business, and that was it. Um, I'm so sorry. And that I think has been the huge game changer for me. Because your numbers go up, but you're not necessarily doing the work. I mean, you are because you're coaching your girls and you're telling them, what they need to do to talk to people or what they need to say or messages that they need to send or follow-ups that they need to do. But it's a joy to watch people underneath of you grow. Like I have had a girl with me since last September that just ranked to senior gold. And she's a stay-at-home mom and unexpectedly pregnant with number 3. And when she ranked senior gold, she just cried because her husband is the only one who works. And they're okay financially, but they're not amazing. I mean, I don't think anybody nowadays is amazing. But she told me the other day at Gold School, she said, I want to be Ruby by September because that's when she's due with her baby. And she cried again. And as a leader, like it just touches my heart to see that my girls are succeeding underneath of me and the help that I'm pouring into them has just been amazing. So Ruby's amazing. It was an amazing feeling and goal. And I cried like a baby from like 11 to midnight that night when I hit it. But the best feeling I think is really helping other people you know, with the products and growing in their business. And I don't think I would be at Ruby today if it wasn't for me forgetting about me signing those 10 VIPs because gosh, that's not necessary. But really pouring into my leaders and my team and helping them duplicate, helping them help people with the business. Because if it wasn't for that, I really don't think I would be here. Um, so I do offer the business before they even join for most people. But there is some people who seem kind of pushy. So you have to read people. If you're reading people and people seem kind of pushy, then I don't offer the business because I don't want to be overwhelming. So I do believe that every person is different and you do have to read the room. If you're feeling like this person is um like, gosh, I just want to sign up. I get paid, like they're a millionaire and they don't care about money and money's not an issue, then I'm more than likely not going to offer the business right away. But if you have the people who are asking about money, who just want to talk about money, who like that's it, or is a single mom. I have a lot of single moms on my team that I'm talking business before they even join. But I'm making it exciting. Like, we do Zoom calls. A lot of us live local. You could come to outings. We go to convention. Like I am very upbeat and passionate and exciting. I mean, I think if somebody came to you and was like, hey, we're going to Vegas. Like, you want to go? Like, no, nobody wants to go with somebody who says it like that. Like, I'm going to be like, hey, we're going to Vegas. We're going to have the best time. This is what we're doing. I'm really pouring into these people. Um, how many times do you offer people the business? Do you mean like, say I offer someone the business now and they say no, like waiting on that same person? Is that what you mean?
Like they've already gotten a level 1,
Hmm.
but they don't really do anything beyond that, even though they've said they may have other people in mind. It's like, at what point do you kind of just not keep asking them?
So I've had that too by my own cousin, bless her heart. She was so excited for the business and really wanted to do it. And, I poured my heart into her. We did leadership calls. We did all the things. She signed 3 people and she was silver within like 2 weeks. And I told her, she's just one of those people where her elevator doesn't go all the way up. Like, God bless her soul. But she turned her subscription off, which obviously you guys know, if your subscription doesn't run, you don't get paid. She got mad, she didn't get paid. And I had told her, like, don't turn your subscription off. And I literally was repeating myself and repeating myself and repeating myself, telling her things to do. She wasn't doing them. So I felt like I was wasting my time. And you will have those people. You'll have those people where in your heart that they would be absolutely amazing, but they're just not taking the steps to do the business to be amazing or to make the money or whatever it is. And it's the same thing with the products. Like, you can want these products and you can need these products, but if you're not going to be consistent, I can't make you be consistent. So if you have somebody that's interested in the business and who has signed a level 1 and who has told you 100 times that, they want to do this, they want to do this, they want to do this, there's only a certain amount of time I will spend on people when they don't start making action steps, because you yourself can't be burnt out on somebody when you've tried so many times and they've done absolutely nothing to achieve whatever they told you they wanted to achieve. So, like, just a personal experience with my cousin, I spent probably a couple months, really pouring into her. And then she wasn't joining the Zoom calls. She wasn't being active in the leader chats on Messenger. She wasn't coming to any of our get-togethers for like coaching or anything. But then she would text me and be like, I'm mad I didn't get paid. And I'm just like, okay. So I had to step away. But I really did pour into her for a couple months and really tried my hardest on her for a couple months before I decided to step away. But if you have to step away, that's okay. Um, oh, bye, Amy. Thank you for joining. Um, but you'll feel that, like, if you are pouring into somebody and you're feeling that they're not getting it or they're not wanting it or they're not showing those action steps, you'll know. And that's okay, because you're going to have plenty of other people who are interested in this business and who want to do this alongside of you. And it may not be today and it may not be tomorrow, but it will happen. Promise you.
And sometimes it takes those people seeing you in action, even though,
Mhm.
you had to step away. They may want to jump in because they're like,
Yeah.
wait a second, you kind of left me here, right? And I want to be on this train too. So that can happen. So that was really, really good, insightful advice.
Yeah. If you just keep like being consistent in your posting, being consistent in your products, sharing all the fun things that you're doing, sharing everything that you do, there's a big chance that those people will be like, I want to do that. So just keep being consistent on what you do, not necessarily pouring into them. And they could totally come back around. I have had that happen.
And have you, for you personally, recruiting people as well, is expanding your network a big part of it too? Or do you still have a pretty good, like, decent amount of people that, like, I don't know. I guess once
I
you hit
do.
repeat, sometimes you feel like you've talked to everybody, or I don't know. Yeah.
No, my network is
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
I just a little backstory. My daughter had brain cancer at 12 months old. So my network involves all over the United States on social media because of her history. We were at St. Jude's for 8 months for chemotherapy. And I mean, all the people that we were in treatment with are all over the world. I mean, I have so many people in New England that are interested in these products. Obviously, we're not based in New England yet. I'm hoping and praying, but my network is huge. I do add random people, like 3 people a day, 3 new people a day, and it's not necessarily people that I know. So if you're not doing that, I will, recommend that you guys do that, because it's absolutely phenomenal just to even talk to people you don't even know, that you just added on Facebook a couple days ago, and message them and they sign up and they love products and they want to do the business. I've had that happen before. So branching out of your network, even with people, you know, that you don't know, is very, very successful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all of this. And I could totally relate to the one part you were saying about one of the best parts about being a leader and is like cheering on and being so happy for, you know, helping the people under you for when they're reaching their goals. Amy and I were at, and I know you were there, we never got a chance to connect, but at the leaders retreat in Punta Cana, and we each had someone on stage for gold and senior gold. Jenny's one of them that's on here right now, and Judy is not here today, but anyways, seeing them on stage, we cried like a baby. I mean, we were just so incredibly happy for them. And it was just really cool to see them on stage. I mean, I've not even been on stage yet. So that was an amazing experience to see that. But I'm gonna say, I'm gonna end the recording because this was fantastic. And I know you have to get back to work, but thank you so much for pouring into our team today. We are so grateful for you and can't wait to continue to watch you grow. And I will see you in Vegas. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. That sounds awesome. You guys are welcome. If you guys have any questions or anything, just feel free to reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.